So now it's time to find out really whether this former has been made to the correct size to bend this smokebox tube plate on it. So the process now is we have our round disc. We're going to put our copper plate over it once it's been annealed by heating it. We're going to sandwich that with an exterior plate like that. This plate will be cut into a round circle and then beaten down over this lower former here. The crux of the matter is, how big a disc do I need to cut out of this copper to form the nice flanged length that we need over the edge of here? So I've been studying that for a while. Let's have a look at the drawing and we'll have a look at the scenario that I came up with to try and cut this disc into the correct diameter to go over there and form the correct flange, and then hopefully the flange that we make will be ever such a tight fit that it won't quite go into the boiler barrel, at which point we will machine some off the outside edge of the copper plate once it's formed. And hopefully this copper plate will not fall down into the boiler barrel as the disc did previously when I made it and hoped it was going to be a tight fit. Let's see how we go on. Let's go to the drawing and have a look. So here we are then at the drawing of the boiler barrel. This is the bottom end of the boiler barrel tube plate that we're actually making, and this is it on the side elevation. So this is our copper plate that we're going to bend, have coming down here, and then we're going to bend it at 90 degrees along the former, which is going to be lying in there. Now the thing is, we're given a measurement here of how long this piece needs to be along here, but I've been deliberating how to work that out. So I need to make this piece over length so that later it can be filed back or machined back to the desired length that this needs to be. But I don't want it being short. I'd rather have it too long and I can always bring it back. That's the scenario. So I wondered how to do it on the plate to mark a diameter that was correct for what I wanted. So I measured the thickness of the plate and found a piece of copper wire that was the same thickness or near enough when measured with the vernier gauge. Then I cut the copper wire into a short length, placed it across the centre of this piece of steel that we've formed into this former, across the centre point of it. Then I introduced to it the sandwich that we will be making, because we're going to put our copper in there. We're going to put the sandwich over the top like that, and the sandwich will stop the copper plate buckling out when we knock that over. So then I forced that over there like that and tapped it home with the hammer, as we will be doing with the copper sheet. Did that to both ends of the copper wire. So then we effectively had the copper sheet bent over with the two legs that will go inside the boiler barrel. So what I need to do now is measure from the back end of here along there, mark it with a pen, cut it off, straighten this out again, and that will be the diameter of the piece of copper that I need to go across here, that will just nicely be over length for the job in hand. Let's go and measure this. So I've put a reasonably heavy strong back on this piece of board here, such that I can place my copper wire against it, push it right up to it, and then with the ruler I can measure off the distance that's shown on the plan for this flange that's coming along here, and then add, say, an extra 1/16 of an inch or even an 1/8 of an inch if I wanted to, as a safety. So I'll mark that up now. So I've marked mine for 1/8 of an inch over. So I've put marks on here now. I will cut this there, and I will cut it on this mark here, and that will be the plate with the flange over length, and the over length should be about 1/8 of an inch. So let's see how we go with that. And when I've bent the copper plate, it hopefully won't fall through into the barrel. So I'll just cut the copper wire to length now on the marks that I made earlier. That's 1, 2. Then I will straighten this piece of copper wire out, and the straightened length of wire will be the diameter of the disc that I need to form a flange that big. So I'll just straighten this wire out. Into a straight length. There we are. Now all I need to do is measure that length of wire, and that will be the diameter of the disc that I'm cutting. So if I then take my dividers and divide this into 2 lengths effectively, take the measurement of it, put half of that measurement in these dividers, and then simply scribe a line round on the copper plate and cut it out to that line. So let's do that now. So I've measured my length of wire, taken half of that measurement and put it into this dividers. So now I'm ready to scribe a circle, i.e. from the centre of there around on the piece of copper, and it will give me a circle bigger than this diameter, which is good. So that's the copper. I need to find the centre of this square plate of copper, so I'll just mark a line across there and a line across there, and where the lines intersect in the middle I'll put the compass on, and then I'll scribe a circle round. So just mark across here, corner to corner, thereabouts. Pop that on with a pencil. And that corner to that corner. Where the 2 lines intersect in the middle, that's where I'll put the dividers. Put the dividers into there. And then scribe round a nice circle. So now we've got a nice circle. I'm not sure whether the camera can pick that up, but we've got a nice circle round there, which I need now to cut out. This will become waste copper, and we'll just be working with a round disc that we can bring nearer to a nice circular disc. So the next step now is to cut this circle out.